movie begins with Derrickson, a highly skilled sharpshooter who's been lying in wait for her target for a long time. When the moment finally arrives, she shoots him with a single, precise bullet. Afterward, she keeps the bullet shell as a keepsake of the kill. The scene shifts to Levi, another sharpshooter and former soldier. He's called in by Miss Barthow for a secret mission, and during a review of his records, it's revealed that Levi has killed over 200 people with a single shot, making him an exceptional sniper. Impressed, Miss Barthow hires him for her mission. Meanwhile, Derrickson returns to Russia to visit her father. She's a bounty hunter, paid to kill others. However, after each kill, she feels immense regret and guilt. To ease her sorrow, she gives her father the bullet shells from each of her kills, a ritual she's followed for years. But her father, worn out by life and loneliness, informs Derrickson that if she doesn't die by the 14th of February the following year, he will end his life on that date, no matter where she is. Deeply saddened, Derrickson returns to her work. We then follow Levi, who is transported by helicopter to a remote border between Russia and the US, where he is assigned to guard a tower for a year, cut off from all outside contact. Upon arrival, he begins a journey across the rough terrain, meeting his senior, who's completing his own assignment. The senior is thrilled to speak to someone after a year and shares some important rules about the duty. Levi is assigned to watch over an east tower representing the US, while across a river lies a west tower, controlled by Russia. The east and west towers are crucial to guarding the borders, and Levi is given specific instructions. Reload the machine guns, repair any tracking devices, and be ready to run 4 kilometers if the sirens sound. The senior shares that the area between the 2 towers is known as the Gorge, a dangerous and forbidden zone filled with creatures. It is their job to prevent these creatures from reaching the upper world. If the creatures approach, the guards must shoot to kill. After the senior's departure, Levi discovers that the senior had been killed by a trap, a grim indication that no one assigned to this duty ever returns home. Levi begins his routine duties, reloading bullets, checking systems, and maintaining the tracking devices. One day, he hears a noise coming from the west tower and sees a woman, Derrickson, on the other side. Like Levi, Derrickson is tasked with guarding the border and killing the creatures emerging from the gorge. Though separated by distance, they manage to communicate, and over time, they start to form a connection. On Derricsson's birthday, she decides to break the monotony and shoots a bullet toward Levi, attracting his attention. She writes on a board asking for his name, but Levi, adhering to the rules, refuses to reveal it. Derrickson continues to break the ice by performing a dance for him and asking him what his favorite dance move is. Levi responds, humorously, that he only knows how to shoot. To prove it, Derrickson sets up a bottle, and Levi shoots it from a distance, impressing her with his precision. After a brief exchange, they both spot strange creatures climbing their towers. They quickly spring into action, using their sniper skills to take out the monsters before they can reach the top. In the chaos, Derricsson's tower is attacked, and just in time, Levi shoots the creature threatening her. She thanks him for saving her life, and the two continue their duties, refilling their machine guns and exchanging messages over time. Their bond deepens as they spend months apart, but still manage to communicate, sharing small moments and playing games like chess. As the year progresses, the 14th of February approaches, the date that haunts Derrickson. She writes to Levi, sharing how difficult the day will be for her, as it marks the anniversary of her father's decision to end his life. Levi, understanding her pain, makes a decision to support her. Using his skills and available resources, Levi rigs a device that allows him to travel across the gorge to Derricsson's side of the tower using a wire. When Levi finally reaches her, Derrickson is overjoyed. They share a quiet dinner, and Levi opens up, telling her about his background. They bond over their shared loneliness and talk about their lives. The night passes, and in the morning, Levi attempts to return to his tower, but a misstep causes him to fall into the gorge, where a terrifying, multi-legged creature attacks him. Desperate to save him, Derrickson jumps into the gorge after Levi. The gorge, full of strange and dangerous creatures, is a treacherous place. Despite the danger, they continue to fight for survival. Derrickson saves Levi from certain death by shooting the creature about to kill him. They continue their journey, encountering bizarre hybrid creatures and facing increasingly intense threats. During their journey, They discover the truth about the experiments conducted by Ms. Barthow's organization. The facility in the Gorge had been performing unethical experiments, trying to create superhumans by mixing human and plant DNA. This had resulted in the creation of hybrid creatures, including the terrifying monsters they had been fighting. Levi and Derrickson realize that they have been guarding the secret of these experiments, and that the world is at risk of these creatures escaping into the world. In a bid to stop the threat, they decide to destroy the facility. But before they can escape, they are confronted by a creature made from human and tree DNA. It tries to kill Derrickson, but Levi arrives just in time, killing the creature and setting its roots on fire. The two make a break for it, fighting their way through the dangers of the Gorge. But they eventually find a car that will help them escape. As they drive toward freedom, they encounter even more hybrid creatures. But Levi uses his quick thinking to set the creatures on fire, clearing their path. However, Levi knows that to truly eliminate the threat, he must destroy the entire facility. He rigs a time bomb to destroy everything, knowing that it will also set off a missile that will obliterate the Gorge below. Levi's plan works, and the explosion destroys the facility and the monsters within. However, Levi is caught in the blast and falls into the water, presumed dead. Derrickson, devastated by the loss, decides to live out the rest of her life without ever returning to the populated world. For 5 days, she remains isolated, unsure if the strange hybrid virus from the Gorge has affected her. When she finally emerges, she goes to a small, undiscovered place in France to begin a new life. Years later, while working as a waitress, Derrickson is stunned to see Levi standing before her, alive. He had somehow survived the blast and had found his way back to her. They share a heartfelt reunion, communicating through written words, much like they did while separated. In a moment of joy and relief, Derrickson embraces Levi, and they begin their new life together. The film ends with a sense of hope and the possibility of a fresh start, as Derrickson and Levi look forward to a future free from the horrors they endured.